Alright, what's up YouTube? Eugene here. Hope everything is well. Hope life is treating you grand. Let us know in the comments down below how everyone's doing. I've got some really interesting things sent to me over the past, and I'm finally catching up. I've collected some time, and I'm gonna use this time now to share my first impressions on what I think are going to be wonderful gifts. These were sent as gifts from friends, so thank you so much. Captain Castorium Almanzano sent Foorio, so I've talked about this in some live streams, but we'll do a first impressions here. Thank you so much, Almanzano. I do appreciate this. You have a heart of gold, and YouTuber Ramsey, who does a lot of vintage fragrances, a good friend. I would consider Ramsey a very good friend. We speak quite often, and he sent me some things that I thought would be interesting. So I'm not going to go through all of them. There's a good 10 or so here, but I picked out the ones I think are the most interesting. So we'll dive into these a little bit, but really quickly, for anyone interested, I have opened up shipping of Les Abstraits, and Le Douleur Exquise is now available in different parts of the world. So we've opened up to shipping to France, to Germany, to Romania, Sweden, and Dubai. By popular demand, people are asking for these, so I am obliging and I'm listening. And I guess I'm just, I'm just kind of listening to what the customer wants and going that route. But yeah, there you go. This is available. I've made shipping as affordable as I possibly can to some of those more expensive, farther places. We're actually taking a loss on shipping. So it is what it is, and I'll constantly be looking for the best rates, and I'll pass on any savings to anyone that is after this. But anyone that supported this, thanks so much. It's been brilliant. It's been an amazing ride so far, so really happy with this Le Douleur Exquise. But yeah, let's get into Foorio here. And I've had this for a while, and I've worn Foorio once, and it was kind of like a really interesting wear. I don't know which model or generation Foorio this is, but I imagine it's a reformulation. It's a very powerful masculine. Well, that's the interesting part. It's considered a really deep masculine heavy perfume, but when I break this down, right, I find this very feminine, boys. I find this very feminine. And I think it's the powdery notes, the florals. It's got a good base of woods, but I find this way more feminine than masculine. So I knew very little about Foorio. Captain Al, he sent this as a gift. He says, this is what I used to wear in the day. I think this is a reformulation, but doesn't matter. It is still a beast. It's very balsamic. It's warm, spicy, very spicy, powdery, cosmetic-y. It's got woods in the base, but like very soft woods. I don't find this masculine at all. I get a very big jasmine from this. Very big florals, but jasmine in particular. It's itching my nose. Kind of an indolic jasmine. Incense, rubbery, slightly rubbery with powder. Very rounded perfume. No sharp edges. Very cloying. And I remember the day that I wore this. Al had sent it, and the next morning I had got up and I put on like 10 sprays of this. I should have gone, actually I went 2 or 3 sprays, and I was having a hard time picking it up because this sits very close to the skin. I know it's considered an eau de toilette, but this is it behaves like pure parfum. I don't find it has a lot of projection, but it leaves a great trail. And I was having a hard time smelling it because I was sitting on the front porch enjoying my coffee early in the morning. So I went back and I put on total like 10 sprays, and I sat about for a couple hours. I took a shower. I went to work and applied another fragrance. And underneath the fragrance that I was wearing, I could smell Foorio coming back to life. Like, it started very softly. It started to kind of purr and growl. And what it felt like was almost if you've watched a race, like 10 people getting in a race and one person falls down and trips and totally collapses only to get back up and start racing and to win the race again. It was very persistent. And that's what Foorio felt like. It was just a beast, a monster, a beast, a complete beast. I haven't experienced too many things like this where I've actually washed off with soap and water in a shower and could smell it overtaking, the next fragrance. Tuscan leather, vintage Tuscan leather does that for me as well. But outside of Tuscan leather and Foorio, I've never really had this. But I do like this. I feel like there's a little bit of, without, going into notes and stuff, I feel like there's a little bit of civet in here. Moss. A lot of powders, a lot of balsams, very rounded, and florals. Probably a really nice sandalwood in here as well, but very nice. I do like this, and I'll continue to wear this. Thank you so much, Almanzano, the Castoreum King. I don't think there's Castoreum in there, though. And I'll come back to this. This is Foorio. Foorio by Bogart. Jacques Bogart. Okay. And Ramsey was kind enough to send a little bit of Balenciaga put home. And we did try this during a live stream, so I lost a good portion of it. But I'm going to... There's just a little bit left. Maybe I can do a first impressions. And we'll get out the remainder. Okay. So right off the top, it's very soapy, and I get incense. Very soapy, slightly green, kind of medicinal. But I don't get oud. I know somebody said there's oud, or there's debate of oud in here. I don't necessarily get oud. To me, it's just mostly soapy, like a very classy soap. Not very like I don't get like a barber shop shaving foam. A little bit sweet. Like natural sweetness. This is very woody. I feel like this is, right off the top, it feels more chypre than fougere to me because of the moss in the woods. But it smells very classic. This to me is much more masculine than, like traditionally masculine than Foorio. Foorio is a very feminine. This is good. Right off the top, though, I don't see anything in here like without spending time watching it develop, watching it unfold. I don't see kind of like anything here really grabbing me, really pulling me, or going, oh my God, I need a bottle of this. I imagine that comes more in the development, and that's fine, but it's not, there's nothing outrageous in here that is like clubbing me in the head with attention. It just feels like a very competent, classic, masculine. this down here, and that is Balenciaga Homme. Okay, let's do Portos. We've got Portos here. Should have opened these prior. Portos in magenta, or is that purple? All right, let's see what Portos is all about. So this, I believe, is discontinued as well. Hard to find. A lot of... Ooh. This is nice. This is really nice. I think this calls to me more than Balenciaga Portos. And this feels like it's more animalic. Also more citrusy, woody, drier, soapier. It's like dry florals, lavender, carnation. It's not smoky. There's some greenness to this, like mossiness, but more than just moss. It's like Artemisia or something. I like this. I like this a lot. Portos. I really like this. Okay. Balenciaga is really smoothed over. It's gotten super smooth. Almost pastel-y. And I can sense ambergris again in Balenciaga. And we talked about ambergris being in Balenciaga in live stream. Okay, let's do Homme. So I notice a lot of these vintages are very soapy. Homme. This one feels the smokiest and the woodiest spices. Homme is very nice. Very nice. Very classic. Something about this reminds me of like Guerlain's Héritage is coming to mind. It's very warm. But this is less soapy than the other two. I like this a lot. I like this a lot. Homme in blue. Okay, let's drop that there. Next we'll do Antaeus Sport. I am very familiar with Antaeus, and Ramsey said you should try Antaeus Sport. And he says it's just like Antaeus, but they've removed a couple of notes. So this will be interesting, and I'm not sure really what to expect. feels like they've removed the green spices, the basil, the thyme, the coriander, the whatever else is in there, rosemary. It's almost like the top notes of Antaeus have faded, but I still get leather in here. A sport perfume with leather. Patchouli. It's very recognizable as Antaeus. I think they've pulled kind of like the powdery aspects. I feel like the castoreum is still there, the rose, the leather. It feels like a softer, more elegant version of Antaeus. Like the grit is gone, but still interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. As a big fan of Antaeus, I like this a lot as well. Very nice. All right, so we've got Roja Hope Lux and Dunhill Blend 30. And I have not smelled either of these. Let's do Dunhill Blend 30. Okay. So this is a very well-regarded vintage that's been discontinued, hard to find. Wanted to smell this for a long time. It's not at all what I was. This is very dry, peppery cedar woods. Interesting. It's got green spices. Not at all as what I was expecting. Like for the amount of acclaim this gets, it's quite dry, slightly chalky. Interesting. I'm a little bit disappointed with this, if I'm being honest. But again, this is like, first impressions on paper. It doesn't really mean a whole lot. Let me set this aside here. Let's do Roja's Hope Lux. Man, oh man. And this is, the reason I wanted to smell this was because this is like a $3,000 perfume or something outrageous. And I asked Ramsey, what does a $3,000 perfume smell like? It's like, well, let me send you a sample and you can see for yourself. Oops. Very rubbery. Iris is gray, powdery, warm. Interesting. Interesting. Is it like iris and leather? Balmy. Like balsam. It's very rubbery. Plush. Musk. Like a furry musk. It's quite warm. I mean, this is nice. I don't think I would recognize this as a Roja. I don't think I would recognize this as a $3,000 perfume. you know, if I didn't know, I would say this is like $100 Prada. But that's what's coming to mind right now. Like a little bit soapy, a little bit clean, um, powdery. There's something blue-gray in here, like a dreary sky. It's nice, but fuck me, $3,000 for this? A little bit of incense. It is very nice, very nice. It's a lovely perfume. It doesn't strike me as something outrageous. It's quite clean. I'm not picking up any filth in this, any kind of vulgarity, anything dirty. It's more musty. It's dry. I'm getting a lot of iris and leather, like that gray orris, like dreary, contemplative orris, slightly rubbery. There's some balsams in here. Um, it's nice. There's nothing in here that calls my name though. It's shouting, "You must own me." Which one did I like? I think I liked Hohang, or was it Portos? Let's put some Hohang on here. Hohang's gone very soapy. Portos. Again, soapy. Green. They all kind of have like this same feel to them, the same mood. It's like soap and moss and woods, patchouli, green grass. It's hard to tell them apart at this point. Antaeus Sport is definitely familiar. Definitely, I can definitely see this being related to Antaeus. It's undeniable. But it's like they've added some soap to this. Roja Hope Lux. It feels like it's like one accord, and there's like I'm not picking anything up underneath that's going deeper. Like what is on top is nice. It seems nice, but I'm not getting the depth. Blend 30 is quite dry, it feels like. Dry woods and spice. The florals are starting to come out in Hope Lux. Like green florals? Interesting. Um, let's see. I think I like it's either Portos or Hohang. But they just like super soapy. Very dry, slightly leathery. I like this less on my skin. This is Homme Club. Let's put some Portos on. Portos is big. Big and airy. Very aromatic. Herbs. But it's all very woody. They're all very woody. Woody florals with slightly, well, overwhelming soapiness to them is what I've noticed. They're all very soapy, like somewhat barber shoppy. Hohang has really turned on my skin, and it's got like it's turned acrid. And slightly dirty. Is it acrid or is this going dirty on me? It feels like there's some dark musks in there. Anyway, all right, there you go. First impressions. I'm not sure how I've done. I've never smelled any of these before, and I've not worn them. So there's a lot of similarity that runs through these just off the top. Is that soapiness, slightly green, mossy, woody, woodsy. Reminds me of like soapy forest floors. So it's obviously a thing. Anyway, thank you, Ramsey, so much. I appreciate it for allowing me to smell these. Thank you, Captain Alvanzano. It's been a pleasure. Really enjoyed Foorio. I'll be able to wear Foorio, and probably try and sample the rest of these once or twice more. So drop a comment down below. Let me know how I did, what you think of these vintages, and we'll talk to you soon.